Moby Dick is a wonderful story for children. If you change it quite a bit, at least that's what they thought when they made The Adventures of Young Moby Dick.
He's the terror of the deep, who stalks you even when you sleep. Moby Dick, oh Moby Dick, I'm gonna get ya, and it's gonna be quick.
What a stupid idea this was. The last movie for me to cover on this 3-pack about wolf dogs and an inappropriate dick. This movie has 3 different names for no good reasons. Sometimes they take out the young part and it's just The Adventures of Moby Dick, and other times it's the redundant title of Moby, The Adventures of Young Moby Dick, which is the title that pops up on the actual movie. There are also some kind of funny ways you could get this DVD, like in a birthday card if you really hate the birthday person. Or in some areas, you could get it in a special lunch pail looking case because those heavy DVDs need a handle. Moby Dick was a commercial failure at its initial release and only really became popular well after Herman Melville's death. But I'm sure there were some 19th century hipsters that liked Moby Dick before it was cool. Herman Melville's immortal story is playfully retold through the eyes of the great whale himself. What we're saying is, looks like this story wasn't so immortal after all, cause we killed it. This is another Good Times release of a Bly Megakoski and Phoenix animation movie, so it's got that same art style as An Angel for Christmas and Call of the Wild. Also, it's got that storybook framing device. I'm guessing the scenes of them all euphorically squeezing spermaceti did not make it to the children's movie adaptation.
Our story begins in the year 1841.
It also begins very stiffly because it's just a long-lasting lazy freeze frame.
Of all of them, one whale stood out, as white as a mountain of snow.
Snow White the whale, who they colored awfully gray if he's supposed to be so white. Also, I believe Moby Dick's oddball mom is the whale who really stands out here.
You're going to learn
How to make your eye not almost blink out of existence. What she really teaches the mobster is how to breach.
your father, rest his soul, breached when he was your age.
Yes, rip in peace, Moby's father, Richard Dick.
Moby, you must try. An excellent first try. Your father would say, I am king of the sea. I can defy gravity.
Of course he was wrong, which is what led to his demise, but I'm not ready to be tied down by a child, so you should definitely think that too.
I'm king of the sea. I can defy gravity.
I expect this will go swimmingly.
I'm king of the sea. I can defy gravity.
Let go your harpoons!
The lesson is never try.
Well, I can't wait for Moby Dick's mother to get Bambied. Oh wow, they really did it. Fly, Mother Dick, fly! This is gonna cost me a leg for some reason!
Mom? Mom!
What? What is this? I can have visible tears under the sea.
Moby's life had been turned upside down.
Now, let me tell you a story all about how this classic literature got turned upside down.
A young boy was also alone. Ishmael had decided to go to sea.
Hey, narrator woman, aren't you kind of stealing Ishmael's role? So, yeah, they've turned Ishmael into a little boy because that makes this tale about vengeance better for the kids.
I have an opening for one more deckhand.
Was Queequeg threatening to eat them? 'Cause he was a cannibal in the book.
You want go to sea?
Yes.
Good. Then we go together.
But the man's only hiring one new hand, and I know nothing about whaling.
Then I teach you.
So just immediately Queequeg takes an extreme liking to this little boy. Well, that doesn't come off creepy at all. There's also something really odd about how well-spoken Queequeg sounds while using broken English.
I see good heart. we be friends.
Call me Ishmael.
Oh, he said it! Just how Herman Melville envisioned the first line from his book, I'm sure. Keequeg shows off his barrel murdering skills, which gets him and the useless kid hired to the Pequod. I'm sure whoever's barrel that was is kinda pissed, though.
Hello. Hey, can I play too?
No whales allowed, you're not a crowd. Mo to the bee then gets himself trapped in a sunken ship, and we learn that the sea is full of jerks.
Got yourself a whale of a problem.
Oh, looks like he's turning into the Moby Blues. Then the Brooklyn Seahorse Winnie shows up to reprimand everyone and have them save the dick.
Hey, get back here, all of you! The rest of yous follow me!
We then learn that if you spin around a pole really fast, it makes it rise up. Wonderful scene. Next. Ye old eats. It just hit me. This movie's stupid.
I have just enough money to buy us dinner.
Me no need go in there.
Beware, lad, for those who sail with Ahab are doomed.
Someone giving an ominous warning about those aboard the Pequod with Ahab are doomed is apart from the book, but guess what? This movie doesn't end quite as grimly as the book, so the doom warning falls rather flat.
Since rescuing Moby, Winnie had become his best friend.
The talking seahorse that was Moby Dick's best friend is also from the book. 100% believe that!
We've been out to sea all week, and we haven't once seen Captain Ahab.
Oh, it's okay. Ahab's really friendly and just comes up to smile and wave to you. No insane revenge driving that guy at all.
He ain't been the same since he lost to the Great White.
The one they call Moby Dick.
Chewed the captain's leg off, he did.
Why has anyone heard of this like it's some great legend? It's not even what happened in this version. And unless everyone else who was with Ahab in that scene somehow died, there's plenty of witnesses to say all that happened was a whale he had already killed flopped on him.
He once hung a man from the mast by his thumbs.
Ishmael hears that someone got hung by his thumbs and he smiles? What a little psychopath.
You best stay clear of Ahab.
It's him.
Why are we working on a boat for a captain we don't want to see? And really, what could Ahab do that is really that terrible?
Now listen up and listen well, for here's a warning I need tell about a monster of the sea who goes by the name of Moby.
Oh, I understand now. Ahab truly is the real monster.
Moby Dick, oh Moby Dick!
Moby Dick, oh Moby Dick, how squishy is your seaman?
He towers 7 stories high, and the spray from his boat can reach the sky.
Wait, Moby Dick put out the sun, and people are still believing Ahab's story? That's why there's no sun and we're all dead right now! Yeah, sounds legit. And since Ahab has already killed the whale that injured him in this version, it kinda ruins the entire story. Ahab then kills their water supply cause he's an idiot, and this movie is anti-barrels apparently. We then meet an old-timey movie star, Starfish, because star! Haha, anyway.
I could teach him how to carry his weight so he looks strong and powerful. I could help him develop a stare so he always looks icy and intimidating.
Yeah! I think we're getting somewhere.
Yeah, sure, that fixed Moby's mess of a life. But apparently what he really needs is to meet the badass whale of the sea, Storm, who hangs around some diamonds.
The diamonds, my god!
Well, if it isn't the legend of the sea.
Why would he be a legend in the sea? He didn't do anything. That makes even less sense than all the humans knowing about it. Did you hear how Moby's mother died protecting him? Wow, what a legend he is! Storm and Moby have a little breach off, but then the Dick has some PTSD flashbacks about his mother's death. What a fun kid's story. And what's kinda weird about this is grim crap that they added to this story.
So much for the Prince of the Sea.
Moby has accomplished Dick. Why did he get any of these titles?
If I stayed ashore, I'd never have to face the monster Moby Dick.
My father say only man make whale into monster.
Yeah, Queequeg loves the whales. That's why he's a whaler.
But Moby Dick is different. Look what he did to Captain Ahab.
But you must ask, what Ahab do to him?
And you've done nothing to the whales with your expert harpooning skills?
I smell him. He's around here somewheres. A gold coin for he who spots him first.
Ugh, well now you've ruined the collector's value of it. I don't want your dumb coin anymore.
Climb the mast and tell me what you see.
But I've never done it before, sir.
I gave you an order.
I climb, Captain.
But I want people who aren't good at things to do them. I'm a great captain. Queequeg spots a whale, but more impressively, he immediately teleports back down to the deck when Ahab calls for harpooners. And naturally, since Queequeg's one of the harpooners, he's just one of the people rowing the boats and not getting ready with his harpoon.
Fill your minds with hatred for Moby Dick.
Do they really need hate motivation for this? Isn't killing up the whales what these bozos usually do?
Let him go!
Why, Captain?
It's not Moby Dick.
So is like one gold coin all the money we're working for here? Doesn't seem quite worth it.
I'd be nothing more than decoration for a seafood platter had it not been for Siggy.
Siggy?
Ah yes, according to Siggy, this bit blows.
Ah, yes. It's a seahorse. You don't know whether to swim or gallop. It is driving you bananas.
Therapy with Siggy. Oh, that's so good.
Stella!
Can't you hear me yella? You're putting me through hella.
No, it's not me, it's him.
Now this is a bigger fish. There's something fishy here.
Whales are mammals, you stupid squid.
He can't breach.
He can't beach because he obviously wants to beach his mother. My mom's dead.
Now then, son, what seems to be the matter?
I'm hungry.
7 days
Since I watched that weird VHS tape.
You, lad, climb the mast and see if you can spot the monster.
Me?
I climb, Captain.
Not this time.
Ahab's obsession with the whale was second only to his obsession with having Ishmael climb into the crow's nest. Looks like Ishmael's gonna get a golden shower! Useless!
Man overboard!
Everyone stand around and do nothing! That's our man overboard procedure! Yeah, hold on that, guys. That's good. Also...
Queequeg stared at the spot where Ishmael had vanished beneath the waves.
Queequeg tried nothing, and he's all out of ideas!
The hunt for Moby Dick had claimed its first victim.
Oh yeah, sure, that sounds legit.
Look!
Oh man, Ishmael's not dead?
It's a monster!
You get Moby. I'll take care of the human.
Nah, of course, the seahorse somehow swims the human boy to shore. It makes sense because it doesn't.
Feeling better?
Who said that?
My name's Winnie.
Winnie the Poopy horse joke!
Hey, you fell into the sea, so I brought you here. There's food if you're hungry.
The seahorse went on land and picked fruit for him? Oh, that is just classic seahorses, I tell ya.
This is solid gold.
Dude, talking seahorse that can go pick fruit. The gold bowl is not the thing to be in awe of.
Oh, there's lots more over there.
Wow.
Most people forget about the seahorse's treasure subplot of Moby Dick.
You stay there. I'll be right back.
Wait!
Also, Ishmael takes it pretty easily that sea creatures can talk, and why in this universe has this never come up before? Surely Ishmael's not the first person in the world to fall into the sea.
But I've decided it's best I go my own way.
Moby Dick can go his own way.
By myself.
Don't wanna be all by myself. Well, now Moby Dick has apparently swam into the ruins of Atlantis during his musical number. There's a sentence I never thought I'd say.
By myself.
Oh, now we're into the recycled footage part of the song. Wonderful. Then Moby Dick swims into space?
Oh, lovers on the moon.
Yeah.
Winnie then finds Moby and has a great surprise for him. A human! Surely that won't bring back any traumatizing memories for him.
Hey, you twos.
He's a monster.
He's a monster.
Oh man, when are these two gonna learn to get along?
It was you who bit off Captain Ahab's leg.
He injured himself when his boat capsized as my mother tried to save me.
And he blames you for it.
Oh, really quickly, because we only have less than 10 minutes of movie left.
I'm sorry I called you a monster.
I'm sorry I called you a monster too.
Man, who knew all they had to do was quickly talk things out and Moby Dick would have a much happier ending.
Ishmael hoped that the lure of treasure would convince Ahab to call off the hunt.
Oh yeah, the guy who's already been passing up opportunities to make money out here will probably go for money over revenge now. Good plan, Ishmael.
You say you saw the monster, Moby Dick, and talked to him? What waterlogged madness is this?
Moby Dick's not the monster.
You are.
You are.
You will do as I say and lead me to the whale.
Unless Ahab really believes that the whale can talk, why would he think that Ishmael would have any idea where Moby Dick is?
Never.
Refuse, and your friend will die.
That creepy cannibal pedo? Sounds good to me.
For the first time since I lost my mother, I feel like maybe I could take on the world again.
He reaches!
Let your harpoons fly!
All the therapy in the world isn't gonna fix that whale now.
Swim, Moby! Swim!
Oh, thanks for the advice, Ishmael. Never would have thought of that one. We need to free Moby!
Storm! Moby's in trouble!
He's being chased by whalers.
More like running away, I'd say.
You're the real coward, Storm.
Wait, who are all these other judgy whales? I didn't see them helping before either.
Captain! The ship's on fire!
Forget the ship!
Oh, okay. Living's overrated anyway.
It's a trap!
I think he knows by now. Not that it was much of a trap. And can Moby Dick still hear Ishmael from over there? Storm and crew put out the boat fire, which doesn't really help Moby Dick, but for some reason that does give him the courage to go kill Ahab. Yes, really. But whereas Ishmael was the sole survivor from the Pequod in the book, this movie gives us an ending that's much, much dumber.
The men await your orders, Captain.
Well, where to, First Mate Keequeg?
I am disgusted if that did not come across there.
Follow your heart, Captain Ishmael.
Follow your heart. Follow your heart.
Most people think the world ends at the horizon. Let's see what's on the other side.
Oh yeah, I remember it was Captain Call Me Ishmael that proved that the Earth was round. Not that anyone really believes in a round Earth. I mean, next thing you'll tell me is that the moon isn't under the sea.
Ishmael and Keequeg sailed off on a life of adventure, forever protected by Moby and his friends.
Did they forget that the rest of the crew were all whalers? Also, the rest of the crew had left Ishmael and Keequeg to die on the burning ship while following Ahab.
Look around you, there's a new world waiting just for you.
Oh yeah, we really told a meaningful story here, didn't we? What a turd. I love, too, that the idiots just forgot about the treasure. Hey, we could all be rich and living it up instead of being on Voyage of the Damned Part 2 with Captain Kid Crapola, but let's not! Let's just sail with the whales, who hopefully don't want revenge on us for all their kind we've killed. Nah, revenge isn't a theme in Moby Dick. Don't be silly. I'm kinda surprised that this hit as many beats from the book that it did, but it makes the revenge tale not make any sense when Moby Dick didn't do anything to Ahab. Well, until killing him at the end. However, if Ahab is the only one that dies, everything's cool. Now I need to hunt my white whale and become obsessed with revenge! Or I'll just go get that treasure those idiots forgot. BRB, gonna go jump into the ocean so a seahorse swims me over to the gold.
I don't like this movie, doesn't look too friendly. This bootleg is so fake, that toy is gonna break. Phelous, don't let me down, you need to be around. Grab that chocolate pizza, I even like it cause I want. Phelous, oh Phelous, bring on mortal comedy. Phelous, oh Phelous, an animation movie. Phelous, oh Phelous, what really is so fun? Phelous, oh Phelous, what's your opinion about?
Are you really a prince? Because I'm the official